Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. I wanted to bring you guys an update of all things Pokemon kind of in the Nintendo room. So recently, the Pokewall has kind of expanded. I know I need to change this and update it, but just to go over what's on the Pokewall, we've got all the main series games. Some of the cartridges are also displayed. We also have a lot of the plush from Pokemon Fit or Sitting Cuties, all of the first generation. Then we have some of Gen 2, some of Gen 3, some of Gen 4. I also have some of Gen 5 and some of Gen 6, which I want to put in the shelf with these ETBs right here is the idea. That means the ETBs have to go somewhere. So the idea of what I want to do is I want to add more shelving to the top of this space. I've already put up one shelf up here, but I want to line this whole wall, this like 16 to 17 foot wall with the shelves, and probably put the ETBs for Pokemon cards up there to give me room for the plush. So I've got one of the shelves up already just to see how it looks. Right now I have the Time magazines for Pokemon with Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Eevee, Gengar, and Mew. I think that's all 7 of them. For now, they're there just to make sure that they fit. However, I think I really want to put them maybe here or maybe on a shelf over here or something like that just to have them up. And like I said, I want to put the ETBs up here probably. So the shelves I need to put up are right here. I've had these for years. They were up in the previous Nintendo room when I was living in a townhouse. The goal is to have them, moving on to the other space in the Nintendo room, have them up and have it look something like what it does up here with all of these World of Nintendo figures lining this entire space. This has, I think, every single one, I'm pretty sure, of the 4-inch figures. Maybe I'm missing 1 or 2 of the trophy series. And then I do have more of them going around with the 2.5-inch figures from the older style packaging that looks like these. There is newer style packaging more recently that was released, but anyways, so that's the idea, is kind of mimic what the shelving looks up here and do the same thing over on the other side of the Nintendo room. I'm not sure if you guys have even seen the Nintendo Collecting sign. That's kind of new as well. The other new thing that I should mention is I got this Charizard first edition carpet. And I love it. The card looks great. I actually really like this. I'm just not sure where to put it in the room. Right now it's between the 2 chairs, kind of in the Pokemon space. My wife inspired this whole Poké Room, I should call it. Maybe it goes in front of the fridge, or maybe it just doesn't fit in at all. So let me know what you guys think about this carpet little thing right here, and if it belongs. So I've got some different supplies here, but like I said, with my head the way it is, some days are good, some days are bad. So I'm really slow doing everything. And I'm not always great with the noise, so sometimes I try and do something and it's like, nope, gotta stop. This isn't going to work right now. So the Pokemon stuff is going to mostly stay here, but I do want to move around, like I said, the ETBs. The evolutions at the bottom are so adorable. These are all Tommy. And after Sylveon in the corner over there, I really think they need to do a Dragon type in the next Pokemon main series games when they release more Pokemon. I'm really hoping for that anyways. I have 23 different ETBs. That's so many of them. I had no idea that the Cosmic Eclipse was so expensive. I've had that for years. I'm not sure how many years. I feel like 3 to 5 years at least, and that one went way up in price. I don't have Evolving Skies yet. Those went way up. And the Evolutions also went up that I need to get. But Surging Sparks came out. I have unboxed one of those with my best friend Jordan. We unboxed a Surging Sparks. And anyways, a lot of my Pokemon cards otherwise are over here with the 151 and stuff like that. I did a video for that with Jordan, but maybe I'll post it, maybe I won't. I tried posting it or doing the video with him while my brain was a little fuzzy, so maybe that would just be fun to watch and see what it's all about. Also, this Cosmic Eclipse for Sun and Moon, this is a advent calendar of 25 packs. When I got this officially from Pokemon, I opened up one pack, the middle pack, for the first day. All the other ones aren't perforated, so this first one right here, I have since replaced the pack, but in all of these, the idea was for 25 days, basically, leading up to Christmas, you unbox one pack a day, but I never really did it. I only did the first day. This must be a huge collector's piece now. I've never seen one for sale before. I have no idea what's this worth. If you have any idea, let me know. Other cool things I picked up recently are this Select 4-figure pack. This is from Costco. Maybe I do a video on that. I've also got the first partner set right here. That is a Comic-Con exclusive to 500 issues. That's probably worth a video. I've got a lot that I could do a video on. It's just mainly getting to it and trying to actually pump out some videos now that my brain is feeling quite a bit better. Lastly, a lot of you ask about this pretty often. This is a set of 151 original figures plus Togepi. I need to find the box and remind myself what company and what brand did this, but it's really hard to find, and I'm really pleased I picked this up like a decade ago when I did. I also put up the frame set of the holos from the first base set, which includes Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, and all of them. And then the starter Pokemon are down here at the bottom to fit in. I had the idea of doing this, and right now the top two cards, two of them are graded. They're not good grades. And it's a grading company I never really heard of very much before. Is it KSA? It's not PSA. Blastoise is a 5, Charizard is a 4, and then I have the Venusaur over here, but it just doesn't look good in the case. And that one is also a 5. And I also have the Machamp right here. Is this one Shadowless, actually? Oh, that one is Shadowless. Shadowless first edition Machamp. It's a KSA 6. Who knows what that's worth? KSA. Some other things I picked up recently are Charizard cards, PSA 10s, trying to get a few more of those. I have one of the 151s, but not the 151 as a PSA 10. I think I paid like 60 bucks for this, and it's probably doubled in value or tripled in value already. The other one I love from the 151 set, but I should probably make a video just on the 151 cards at some point, because I'm after a master set of those. I think I'm 2 cards away. I think I'm missing Charmander and Giovanni's Charisma, the SIR version of that. So yes, lots going on. All right, I think I'm going to pause. I'm going to put up the rest of the shelves, and maybe we'll move some stuff around, and let's see how the Pokemon room is looking, and see if it looks any better with everything. Hey, look at those Pokemon shoes, looking pretty cool. I installed the shelves on the beam. I fit 4 of them that are 4 feet long each, so that is 16 feet. Then there's another like 3 or 4 inches on the end there, so I can put another shelf going this way. It's always good to plan ahead. I did the same thing on this side, and I put a shelf up with the Pokemon Time magazines there. I think they look pretty good there. They'll probably going to stay because they fit so perfectly with the height there, with a shelf perfectly going there. The secret door fits beautifully with this, and now you can't even see the framing for the door around it. It fits in pretty well. The only problem I have with the secret door is I should have designed it so that this shelf is flush with the other two, but then it makes the room feel even smaller because this would be out more. So it might be better this way, just to kind of have like a centerpiece there with the Virtual Boy and all the DS items. Also, I'm not really sure what to do with these at the bottom. So cable guys, they're kind of cool. I've got a few of them right down there. They might stay there for the video, for the room tour and everything. We'll see how it goes. All right, so next up is for me to move over all the ETBs that look beautiful on this, and they fit in really well. If you're wondering and you want to do this setup yourself, by the way, you can fit 4 ETBs wide on a normal Billy bookcase from IKEA. These usually sell used for like 40, 50 bucks or less. New, they're probably like $60 to $80 depending on your country. So you can fit 2 of them on top of each other and 8 across if you do it this way. We could probably fit 4 more on the bottom there. So if you do it that way, you fit, I guess, 8 plus 8 plus 4 would be 20. And then you double that. One Billy bookcase could fit 40 ETBs if you're ever looking to display it that way. But goodbye to this display, which looks awesome with the ETBs, and I'm going to put them up along this entire shelf. For now, I put up this Pokemon Tommy figurine collection, just a few of them, but I'm going to take those down. With all the shelves up, this is what the ETBs look like going along the beam. I think they look pretty good. I'm relatively happy with how this looks. My only concern is obviously running out of space, as every collector has that concern. So going all the way on the left, some of the earliest ones I have are from Sun and Moon. I know it goes back farther than that. And then a lot of these aren't that expensive. Probably Cosmic Eclipse is the only one worth a lot of money. The rest of them, you could let me know, I don't think are worth that much. I've been trying to buy them for $50 or less whenever I can, as much as possible. At the end over here, I decided to put some of my very vintage, these are like, you can actually build and battle with these. They're theme decks, so I have a few from Aquapolis and Sandstorm. When I worked at EB Games, I got all of these for like $5 a piece. I had these 4 sealed. For whatever reason, I opened them. But the cards are still sealed, I think, for all of them. And then these 2, the Hidden Legends, are still actually factory sealed. One of them has a rip. So it's just kind of cool seeing those and having those. I know Aquapolis has gone way up in price over time. So I'm sure those cards have some sort of value. Not like I imagine I'm getting rid of these anytime soon. Then I put the magazines over top over here. I think that looks quite good. They fit. It's a little snug, but I think it works. And then I decided to put up 2 more shelves on this beam. These are holding some of my Tommy figure collection, not all of them, because I do have some over here on the side of the Pokewall, a few more there, and I'll get to those in a second. So for the first gen, I'm missing the Squirtle one, and then from this gen, I'm missing Embor's line, and then I have all the ones from X and Y and some other... I mean, the starters from X and Y, but there's a lot of other packaging for X and Y. And then some Pokeballs that I found at Dollarama for $5 a piece in Canada, which was a ridiculous deal. Moving on to the actual Pokemon wall, I decided to take all the Tommy figures that were individually placed, and it kind of made it look like chaos. It was a little bit too cluttered. They were in between all the games, and they're kind of stacked over here. I decided to take this stand that I had, that I always bought with this in mind, but actually I was using this in our bathroom. My wife was using this for her nail polish, so thank you so much to my wife Ivory for letting me basically take the stand back. And I put these 75 Gen 1 figures that I have on here from the official Tommy line. 1 or 2 of them might be fake, I have to go through them, and they're in kind of no order after you get past the first row. They're just kind of a chaos order. At the top, I put in the 5 main characters, I think, from the show anyways, with Jesse and James there included, and Brock, Misty, and Ash, along with some of their starters. I think that looks pretty good. At the top, I have the starter set with a few different PSA 10 cards just there, because whatever. If you're curious, I got the Crown Zenith V-Star Mewtwo in a PSA 10, and then I have the Zoroark, and I can never pronounce that name correctly, in a PSA 10. That one is an illustration rare, I believe, from this year, from 2024. Then I have the starter set that I mentioned previously. This is the first partner set, and then the PSA 10 Charizard. Some of them I've got right there from the various sets. Beside the Tommy figures, I have my my cards, the sealed ones on the McDonald's ones. You can see some of them kind of still sealed there. But then I have my first base set, Jungle, then Fossil, and then Team Rocket and Gym Heroes and stuff like that I've been trying to collect full sets for. I moved up the Tommy Evolutions. They're now here, so I have some room for more of our Pokemon Fit to fit here. My thought with this, and by the way, I think this looks a lot cleaner. Let me know your thoughts. I just think it looks a little less cluttered, and it really focuses a little bit more on the games again. I think this looks really good, actually, the way it is. So I think I'm going to keep Gen 1 where it is in the first 6 cubbies. These 6 cubbies right there. But right now I have Gen 2, then Gen 3, then Gen 4. I think it would be a little weird to do Gen 5 then Gen 6. So what I'm probably going to do is move Gen 2 over there. So like Gen 1 finishes, then Gen 2, then do Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, Gen 6. And when Gen 7 comes out, and when the Switch 2 comes out, I'm obviously going to have to reorganize the room. I'm going to put a new shelf right here, or at least I'll probably move this shelf over to here, put the Switch 2 on a shelf here, and bump everything over a bit. So that's probably going to happen in the next, few months once the Switch 2 comes out, but definitely not in time for the room tour for this year. All right, so I think I'm going to move all these. And by the way, we ordered a lot more, roughly 27 of the next 2 gen for the Pokemon Fit. These are not that cheap. They're like, I think American, like $13 to like $20, depending on how complicated and the quality is. First of all, I got Tyranitar from Gen 2 because I was missing him. And then I got the Ralts line. I think that's from Gen 3. Because right now, if you look at my Gen 2, I kind of want 27 for each gen. And Gen 2, I don't have 27. I have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I now have 21. They're always sold out in Canada of so many of them. Only like 6 of them are in stock. For Gen 3, I think I'm missing like 1 or 2, which is why I got Tyranitar. Gen 4 and now Gen 5, though, I have a good amount. Here's the packing list and the boxes they came in. I ordered these throughout 2023 and 2024. I think it's been over a year of me ordering these to get all of them when they were in stock. So here I have what Gen 5, roughly the 27 that we wanted, including all of the starters and most of the different legendaries, and then some of my wife's favorites. And then I have Gen 6 with Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie, along with a lot, again, of the ones that my wife likes, the legendaries, the Zygarde different forms, and these look really adorable. They're kind of like Beanie Babies. So I think they're all warranting their own video for each gen. Let me know if you would like that. I do have a really long 4-hour video that we did with my wife. And 4 hours long, we went through every single one for Gen 1, and the video is doing pretty well. People seem to appreciate it. So I would love to do the same thing for like the ones I have for Gen 2, and then another video for Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, and Gen 6. And they're eventually going to come out with all of them. I could just imagine what it would look like having a wall of all 1007, I think there are, Pokemon that exist, of every single one, but it would be ridiculous. Not like this isn't already. We have all of Gen 1, but I just think the cost obviously gets crazy. Even ordering the ones that we did over here probably cost us like $1,000 with shipping and tax and everything. All right. Enough of that, let's put them up on the shelf. I do think we're going to move over the ones that I said and try and make this look filled in, and then I'll update you one more time. Everything's being moved. This is the Pokemon wall in its final form for now, until the Switch 2 comes out anyways. So let's take a look at the sitting cuties. The first generation I did keep in these first 6 cubbies right here. Then I decided to put Gen 2 over there. Then we have Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, Gen 6. Originally, when my wife and I displayed all of these 2 gens, Gen 4 and Gen 5, we accidentally swapped, and then I had to unswap them. But I really want to thank my wife for helping me display all of these. It does take some time, and they do look really, really good. I do like how you can see most of them in the top few rows, but the bottom rows is getting harder and harder to see some of the Pokemon. So let's take a look at this new Gen 5 and the new Gen 6 that we have here that are new to my Pokemon room anyways with the Snivy generation. Some of them in the back corner are a little bit harder to see. Zekrom in the middle is a little darker back there, of course, so Genesect in the corner is hard to see. And I really love having like 27 of these, so they fill the space quite nicely. When you go through these one by one when we're replacing them, we can really see the quality. Because the price of these went up in the last few years. When I bought the original 151 set, I think I was getting them for 15, 16 bucks a piece, and now they're like $20 a piece, and some of the more intricate ones are a little bit even more expensive. Gen 6, one of my wife and my personal favorite generation, love the different dinosaur Pokemon you get in this one also. And from this gen, my starter was usually Chespin, and then I kind of second guessed myself and I wanted to go with Froakie. But who is your starter from Gen 6? This gen is pretty filled out. Not all of them are displayed that well. Some of them back here are super difficult to display because of the wings on Yveltal and stuff like that. So love these figures though. There's so many. Volcanion looks amazing. Gen 2, still need more. I keep going on the Pokemon store. I went on again, and the only one they had up was Togetic. That's the only one that I could buy that we really are interested in, so I still need a few more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We only have 20, so I think I want 7 more from Gen 2. Of course, I could go to eBay, pay some ridiculous prices, but I'm not really interested in doing that right now. I want to keep buying them off the Pokemon store if we can. So I think this wall looks really good. I think it looks a little bit more simplified with all of the Tommy figures pulled off to the side. Of course, the Charizard has its own little section now with the PSA 10 Charizard cards I have and these different Tommy figurines that I've displayed here for now anyways. The new set here, I still have to do a video for the first partner, and we have the first partner up there, that pack, which looks great. The Pokemon card collection is still been growing, by the way. It's been crazy. And then we have all the ETBs up here on the new shelf. I didn't know where to put that, the trading card game that I got. This holds all of your different cards in it, so maybe I'll take that down. It looks a little ridiculous up there. But I got this for 15 bucks. It includes a bunch of different stuff, which I like. The giant mat, which looks really cool, the deck box, and some of the card sleeves. It holds 700 plus cards in this, so I've got to open this up, and this is probably how I'm going to be keeping a lot of my bulk anyways for the foreseeable future. So I like this new shelf. I think it looks pretty good. Also the shelf up here with the other Tommy figurines. I got the poster right there for the starters of the Pokemon. That's just kind of on the end right now. The length's a little long. It kind of goes past the shelf, but I think it looks okay there. I don't want to put it past on this end. For now, I still have the Chilling Rain up, kind of blocking the window. Not letting much light in here, of course, because I don't want any sort of sun fading, and also I don't want people looking into the Nintendo room, seeing what I've got down here. And then the Pokemon Time magazines at the end over there look pretty good overall. Also, the posters I kind of put back up on the side right there in between the two shelves, and I think they look pretty good also. But I do have a few more things to put up. For now, I put up these two on the fridge, and also shout out to Charizard, who's kind of just keeping watch over everyone who goes into the fridge. This plush is a very high quality plush, by the way. I probably should do a video, pickups video, and talk about what I got. So this guy's huge, but I wish his head held up a little bit better. Hugely high quality, though, on this guy. So I really like how Charizard's now just on the fridge. That's the only place he really fits quite well. Just as a side tangent, in the past, some of you have wondered, have I ever hosted events or things in the Nintendo room other than Zelda-thons and Mario-thons, which I haven't done for a while? I also host poker nights and board game nights. So recently I just hosted a poker night. There was 8 people over. We were using this ESPN table that has a nice rail. It's got the metal for your drinks. It also has lights on the side of the rail that are not on right now that go blue. And I really like poker. I've played it for a really long time, and board games. So it's kind of cool just to play poker with the backdrop of the Nintendo room being down here. It's like the most expensive wallpaper you will ever see. Some people that came last night had never been here before, and they were like, oh, we're playing in like this. And it's like, yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. We also had the TV on with an NHL game. We were also watching an NFL game, and just had a blast. Let me know if you're into board games or if you're into poker or different games like that, because what else would you use the Nintendo room for other than just gaming? What would you use it for? And do you ever host events in a place like this? What would you do other than that, like gaming nights? So nice to use for other things too. Thank you so much for watching the update of my Pokewall. I really appreciate you guys. Go collect them all. Keep smiling while gaming. Hope you have a great day.